Hey guys, how are we doing? This is Rachel Feldman. I am so excited for everyone to be here. I am going to just give everyone a few minutes to roll in. It is 7 o'clock for some of us on the East Coast. And we are going to, and I love this topic, completely love this topic. We're going to talk about how to master the health history and get paid clients. And that doesn't just mean, and I'm going to say this straight off the bat, doesn't just mean that this is for your one-on-one business. This could be for retreats. This could be to convert clients to programs. The health history or strategy session or discovery session, whatever you desire to call it, is the lifeline, just like I call the opt-in freebie, it's your lifeline. It is the blood of your business. So understanding how to master the health history is so vital and so important. So just to tell you who I am, my name is Rachel Feldman. I am a health coach. I've been a health coach for 7 years. I went to a school called the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. Many of you have gone there as well. In addition to that, I went to a few different schools for detoxification and cleansing, regeneration, because I truly believe that so many of our health issues and just so many of the toxins that we live, eat, and breathe just in today's world lead to our health issues, mine included. Have had an autoimmune for many years. And so became a detox specialist, became a business coach when I realized that the very system that I had in my business was working for me, and other coaches asked if I would start supporting them. It was really an organic kind of move for me, and one that I love because I love teaching. And I also love helping coaches to get unstuck. I built my business by myself. So I was a solo entrepreneur for a long time. And I say that, and I was actually on a podcast earlier today speaking about, somebody's raising their hand, just want to make sure. So Dawn saying thank you for all I do. You're so sweet. I was on a podcast this morning. Actually, I think it was this afternoon. And I was talking about how this is such an important topic that I want to say over and over, is that yes, you can feel stuck with tech. You can, think that you need to have everything look so perfect, but my business did not look perfect. I sold my first detox off of Eventbrite. I actually sold my first health coach done for you program off of Eventbrite because I could not figure out how to connect the PayPal button to MailChimp. So, if you are, I think I was in constant contact at the time, to be honest. So if you feel like you can't build your business because you don't have an assistant, or you don't have, or it's just you, or you can't afford somebody, the truth is you can do anything you put your mind to. It may take a little extra blood, sweat, and tears, but it is possible. Just tap into your why and know exactly why you're doing this business, and always have in your mind exactly why you became a coach. I'm a proud mom and a wife. My kids truly, truly inspire me so much of this work, because despite all the work that I did for my autoimmune, Lyme, and everything, birthed two kids who were toxic and had heavy metals and all this, junky funk that we see, allergies, food intolerances. And so I'm so inspired by them constantly to, really help to change this world, especially when we walk into the supermarket and they see cereal boxes as promising, like, magical fairies. I call it heart health, filled with soy. So with that being said, also, I say six-figure business owner, not because that is to do this whole thing that I see on Facebook. Yes, is everyone sick and tired of hearing people say 5-figure launch, 6-figure launch? I tell you, six-figure business owner because I want to tell you that supporting yourself financially as a health coach is possible. Before we even get into the health history, I think this is a very important topic, and this could be a whole nother webinar. It's important for you to get to know your calculator. It's important for you as a business owner because you are a business owner. You're in a heart-based business, but you have to know how much you need to make each month to not make this a hobby. So when we lost everything in the stock market, and you can go and read my whole story. I won't get into the whole story tonight because a lot of you know me. And if you don't know me, feel free to ask questions at the end of this, and I'll tell you a little more about that, or you can personally email me. But we really did lose everything. I had a decision whether I would go back to commercial real estate or be a health coach, and I knew that this was my calling. That was the bottom line. So I had to really sit down and figure out how much I needed to financially make. It wasn't just like, oh, I want to launch this program. I really hope people come. I had to sit down with numbers, and it was really scary for me with somebody who had self-worth issues, even though many people don't see me as that person with those kind of, fears and insecurities. I also had, money issues, charging for money. It was not a fear that I had in commercial real estate, but once I got into this heart-based business, it was. So I really want you, before we go into the health history, because the health history is so much also about mindset, and it's so much about you believing in somebody hiring you. And you also, at the end of a health history, have to be able to say, yeah, these are my offerings, whatever you're offering, whether it's one-on-one sessions or, maybe a high ticket item, like such as a retreat or maybe a $25,000 mastermind or an event, or maybe you're doing a strategy session to bring somebody to an online program. You have to believe that you are worth that person on the other end hiring you. And if you don't believe that, the health history is not going to go as planned. So with that being said, let's rock and roll. So why are we here? You cannot have a successful business without doing that health history, bottom line. And also without doing it right. You have to convert a health history, and you can't do this. You can't give the shopping center away for free. I did this time and time again because I followed what I had really learned, in school. And again, it's not something that is a bad thing. Sometimes people do longer health histories for a reason. But let's talk about why we do a health history first. And then let's talk about what happens when we give the health history, the shopping center away for free, which is what I always call it, and it is the truth. A health history, you're using this to convert a client to a paid program, or you're using this to lead your client to your one-on-one work with me, converting clients to your group program. There are tons of people who, say you're not seeing as many signups, and this is a great example. And maybe for many of you, you might even try this as, maybe I wouldn't do it this weekend with, people going away, but this is a great opportunity or a great marketing strategy or something to, again, just beta test, is that you're not seeing as many signups for your group program. And so you want to actually promote on Facebook, on your business page, or maybe you want to send out kind of more of a personal email saying, I'm opening up my Saturday and my Tuesday to have health histories. I have 5, slots for anybody who wants to have a 30-minute session to see if working with me is a really good fit. During the session, you will, get the following, and then give them 3 benefits or three or 4 things that they will get during that session with you. again, why do I talk about benefits? We're in a very benefit-driven society right now. We're in 2016. We're not in 2015 anymore, 14. We're definitely not in 2009 when open rates were maybe at like, 30%, 40, 50. We're definitely not in 1999 when they were so much higher and people weren't getting 175 emails a day. You may need to do that strategy session. Why? Because you have to build that trust. So if you think about your life right now and your client's life, your potential client's life, wake up, two parents go to work, they come home, they have kids' activities. By the time they've come in, they're exhausted. Laundry, dinner, everything. What is happening with them? They are fried. They need support. So what are they doing? They're probably not going to open up an email. They're probably not going to feel like they want to be sold to on another sign up for my program. They really need to hear that they are loved. That is this world right now. We're inspired when somebody really feels like, wow, this person really knows me. They're really speaking to me. So you might want to say, I'm opening this up for people who are struggling with getting dinner on the table. And during these sessions, I'm going to really talk to you about how to strategize that. Really personalize it for your niche. I see, somebody on the phone, on the line right now, and I know her personally from all the different forums that we have. And so this person may want to send out an email that says, if you are struggling with, asthma, or you've had a difficult time, with some chest colds during the summer, I'm opening up my Saturday personally to share some tips and tools and strategies that I used to help XYZ. So really think about what your niche is going through so that you can actually help them and so that they feel like that you're really listening to them. So that's what strategy sessions are really good for. Also to sell spots in a retreat. If you're signing up, and one of my coaches was Nisha Moodley and many others from Masterminds, they get you on the phone. Maybe not everyone, but for a lot of people, you're signing up for you're filling out applications. And why? So that you can get somebody on the phone. And this isn't necessarily a health history, but maybe it's an application, a strategy. You're calling it something different so that you can build what? Trust. And that probably is going to be a 60 to 90 minute session. And maybe there will even be a follow-up or any other offerings that you have. Well, let's talk about, and you're just going to have to excuse me while I pull this. Let's talk about the health history. And before we even talk about when it goes wrong, this is the cheat sheet. So before we talk about it going wrong, let's talk about it going right. Because when it goes wrong, again, is when you're giving everything away for free. And that often happens in these lengthier ones that don't have to, that go into this full, long health history. And that's when you're going over like very specifics, and maybe there's a full conversation about what should I do? What do you think I should do? And that's even before they have signed like any waiver with you, any disclaimer, any of those kind of contracts. And that's not a good place also to put yourself in for health coaches as well. So let's even talk about the right way to do it. I love 20 to 30 minutes. I will block out a 30-minute time just on my calendar in case time goes over, because you don't want to be rushed. You don't want to feel like you have to cut something short, especially if you're really vibing with that person. And if they need some extra time for you. And if you feel like you need some extra time, you can always do 30 minutes as well. Some people like 15. I used to do 15. I just think it's a little too short. 20 minutes really allows me to hear from that person, to hear what they are going through, and then to also tell them how I can work with them. So before starting to think about these important questions, what is the system in your business? And when I work with coaches one-on-one, if you're in a forum with me, if you've taken a mastermind with me, anything, I always ask coaches, what is your niche? What is your story? And what's your system? Very important questions, because if you don't know that, it's very hard, no matter how amazing your copy is that somebody wrote for you, how amazing your website is. It's very tough to then go out there and market your message on Facebook, or market your message offline to a referral, walk into a chiropractor's office, walk into, the local juice shop or anything and say what you do. So what is your system? Get really clear on what you believe. And often the very system that you believe is the very system that you do in your own life. Number 2, do you have a signature offering? These are things that you want to think about even before you get somebody on that health history. Do you have social media promoting your online or offline work? Again, I go back, and person I think about with this podcast today, we were laughing because she said, what are the key fundamental things you believe? And I said, I believe in the brick and mortar system, because if your brick and mortar foundation is not set up right, all the other stuff just, falls through the cracks. And so visibility, authority, and building trust to me is everything in a business. And that comes from consistency of blogging, consistency of social media, consistency of messaging, and knowing your story and your about me. Very key components of our business. And then knowing how to launch. All vital to a thriving and profitable business, no matter what business you're in. So even if you never want to sell an online program, she said to me, you're right, because how I found you is online. And I said, that's right, because I have videos, I have consistent social media, and I have blogs, and they all tell a story. Are you prospecting online and offline to get health history? Start asking yourself this question, because if you're not doing that, each week and saying, how am I getting health histories? Your business will not be able to survive. And that is the biggest thing that is important. Just want to touch on Marcy is saying, it's a strategy session, the same thing as a health history. Yes, and I did say that just in the beginning, that some people call it a strategy session, some people call it a discovery session, some people call it a health history. But sometimes you will see that people call a health history or a health assessment or a lifestyle assessment what they actually do at the first of a session. However, some people had done that, myself included, even prior at that first initial talk. And that is a big disservice, not only to yourself, but, to your potential client. Most importantly, to yourself, though. And I'm going to tell you why in just a few minutes. The goal of the health history is to get to know your client, get to know what their problems are, get to know why they are hiring you. So I'll just even explain to you, when somebody calls me, I always say, and it hasn't changed whether it's a coach or what I call a normal person, meaning not a coach, and not that coaches aren't normal, but meaning somebody who is not looking for business coaching. I say, what do I have the pleasure of talking to you about today? And that always allows me to lead off with what they need to talk to me about. And then they often will say, I have been struggling for X amount of years. I found you because I was Googling, or I found you because my friend told me, or I found you because I saw a blog. That is typically how people find me and how people have always found me, which is why I encourage you to really ask yourself, are you doing those following in your business? Then I ask, great, so I hear that's been going on for a long time. Tell me when that started. And just like I did in real estate, I take notes. I take notes on when that started. I also ask them, you know, have they seen anyone else? Are they working with their doctor? Are they working with any practitioners? And, we start to have a conversation. The biggest thing, the biggest mistake that I made, and I see so many coaches make, is we give the shopping center away for free because we don't make those discovery or strategy sessions or mini health histories. We turn them into full-blown sessions. So in the beginning of my career, I was so fearful that if I didn't overqualify myself and give them some tips and tools and strategies, that they would not hire me. Now, there has to be some qualification, in that discussion. But when that person says to me, so yes, this is what has been going on. This is what I've done. And I say, so tell me, what have you done? What has worked and what has not worked? And we have, again, going back, we have a conversation. That person is very open. This has worked. This has not worked. I'm really nervous to hire somebody. I've hired people before. This has been my experience. And I say, well, look, this is why I'm different. This is what I can do for you. And I know I'm different because I've been in your shoes. I have an autoimmune myself. I have Lyme's. I've gone, myself in and out of practitioner's office. And again, your story is different from mine, but typically the very people you attract, call it the law of attraction, call it just, being clear on your niche and your message. And let me just add an extra part to that. You will have sub niches. And you will have different messages, and you will also maybe change over time, and who you desire to work with may change. But again, the message for who I've worked with and the people that I've attracted have always been the same. So if I say, great, I know exactly what it's like. I also work with different acupuncturists and practitioners nationwide. So if we need to, work on something beyond the scope of what I can work with, we can contact them. And I'm also very happy to work with your doctor as well. The more people that are working with you in collaboration, the healthier you are, the better you are. And I explain the ways that we can work together. That is how a health history flows for me. I used to, as I mentioned, give away the shopping center for free because I gave too much. It's not that I didn't listen. I gave too much because I also was scared to not give so much and lose that client. You won't lose that client. You may need to qualify yourself, but qualify yourself in explaining how you're different and how you can help them. Again, we go back to benefits. Somebody's asking, do you have them fill out a health history form prior to the call, or do you go over the questions during the initial call and just take notes? I used to send a health history a long time ago prior to the call. What I would do prior to a call is that typically I didn't do the full health history prior to just a strategy call. I would have them fill out whether you use Acuity or Schedule Once or Time Trade or anything. I would have them fill out what is our intention for the call, who they are, why they're calling me. If we are doing an initial session, month, whatever, 6 months, whatever is your system, then somebody does have to fill out my client form, my client waiver, all of those different forms that I have, and accept terms and conditions, and also acknowledge that I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not here to diagnose, treat, cure any of that. And I think that's a very important thing that coaches need to also realize, like, that's not our job, and our clients who hire us need to know that that's not our job either, and need to acknowledge if those are not our credentials, that should be somewhere on your health history as well. I infuse that into my health history so that when somebody was filling out the health history, that to work with me, they had to accept that I was saying that, I was not treating them in those ways. I was not acting as a nutritionist. And that's a great just liability thing as well. And I think it's something as health coaches we need to be aware of, just for us as, just smart business people too. So let me just answer a few more questions. So to schedule a health history, I should post on, somebody's saying I should post on Facebook my offering. Bear with me. Post on Facebook my offering to do a health history on a Saturday, speaking directly to the people in my niche, or is there somewhere else where I should post this? That's a great question. I always say there's not this proven method on where to post or how to do it. Facebook is just a great place because I think a lot of people hang out on Facebook. But if that's not the place where your people hang out, then I wouldn't necessarily post it there. I think the more that we can get people to know us in groups, sometimes there are groups that permit us to post and say, hey, I'm doing health histories, or I'm doing strategy sessions, or so you could do that and then, say that you are offering them on Saturday. So I would post that maybe on a Monday and a Tuesday if you're offering them on Saturday. You could also do a flyer if you want to do it. My kids used to go to Little Gym, and Panera used to have all these different places that I posted offline. Anywhere that had a pin board, I had a flyer. So I really encourage you to think about getting health histories and discovery sessions by offering them, and also sending out emails. Again, sending out an email. I remember sending out an email. I've been taking a probiotic for a while. I realized my immune was off and that I was feeling off. And I wrote this whole email about how my probiotic wasn't working for me. And at the end said, if your probiotic isn't working for me, sign up for a strategy session with me. And I had 10 people sign up, and I converted 4 of those into clients. So, try different things. If your program is not launching and you're not getting the signups, try a different thing. That's what I always say. Test, test, test. There's no one system. Someone's saying, I see some health coaches charging for health histories, may not get hired, so they charge. Marie, that's an interesting thing. I haven't seen that. Maybe it's that they're charging for their time. I don't know what they're covering in their health history. I don't know if they're doing a full health history and actually giving suggestions or strategies. But I think for me, I think single sessions, I do some single sessions with people. I always tell people, single sessions will only get you so far. So, I know that real change happens when we sign up, for the longevity and we commit. And that happens, in monthly support, and longer. But I will do single sessions with people, especially when, money comes into play. But that's also why I love offering group programs and mini sessions, because I've gotten to know that person in a group, or personalizing a program. But I haven't seen people charging health histories. If you can show me that link, I'd love to see it. I'm just for curiosity. That's an interesting. So getting back to this, when the 60-minute is a no-no. I just had to put that line today. It just cracked me up. When, it's kind of what I went back to earlier. Like 60 minutes is great when you have that high ticket item, but you're really doing it to help you pre-qualify a client, to get an overview of their needs, or even like strategy sessions are great. Like I said, those 15, 20 minute, I even know if a coach is really confused about what program to buy or what they need, I will just say to them, you know what? here, let's hop on the phone. Because one, customer service to me is so important. We're in an age, and it's like if there's a problem and you're trying to get in touch with somebody on customer service, you either get an assistant, or you get a line where you have to like submit a ticket. I'm huge on customer service. I think it's one of the things I love about, Gary Vee, or some of the people, I don't know if Gary Vee himself is personally answering everything on his live streams, but I will tell you, I've seen that man, him personally do a live stream and then going and answering every question himself. Customer service is huge. So if somebody is, if you're sending out an email or you're sending out something about a health history, and you say, what are you interested in this certain program, or you want to know if this certain program is right for you? Instead of calling it health history, say, let's do a strategy session to see if this program is right for you. And I do that all the time for coaches. I would rather a coach be happy, and know what program is right for their niche, than to feel like they've bought something and have it collect dust on their desktop, like so many other things that happen, when we're in business. We fall for that like shiny object, it collects dust, because we didn't see if it was really right for us. Health history, strategy sessions, whatever, is also for you to figure out if you're the right person for them. And I've had clients, coaches say to me, I know you're the right person. And I always say, let's just hop on the phone, because you may like me on webinars, you may like me on Facebook, you may like me on Periscope and whatever, but let's really talk about if I'm the right coach for you with my style of coaching. And I think that's an important thing. So when you're thinking about health histories and strategy sessions, you don't have to follow a script. I think humanize. Like, I think that's the biggest thing that I say, no matter what, whether you're doing email marketing, whether you're doing health histories, anything in your business, really to humanize your business. Okay. So now we get on to even what I had said on the webinar page that you signed up for. We're going to talk about the health history, but come on, you all know me when I like bust out these webinars, because everyone had been asking me, when is the mastermind? When are we doing the mastermind? And so we are starting because summer school is going to happen. That is why we are doing brand new, totally reformatted, totally different Healthy Hustle Business Mastermind. And it is sick. It is off the charts. So we are doing 8 interactive classes, and this is formatted completely different. I am kicking it off with a module that is all about your money mindset, all about also mindset and like setting us up for success to move into module 1. So that module is also about like the books that kind of keep me right. Like, we will even go over like YouTube videos that are important for mindset. Tons of different affirmations that are in there, plus also information on like a whole MP4 that I did on like law of attraction. Then there are going to be 6 modules and 2 live Q&As, so that at the end of the modules, we can go back over the materials, because I find when we do so many of these classes, so many of these kind of masterminds, that almost like going back over the materials is so important, because it feels like, oh, wow, we just went over so much material. How do I implement this? And so we have 2 weeks, 2 live classes to really go over, plus the forum in there as well. We have a private exclusive forum. We're doing an all new health coach buddy system where you'll have a Google Doc to be able to sign up. And then we can match you with your buddy, which will be really cool. Bonuses and early bird pricing will be enrolled by July 10th because school starts on the 16th. Week 1 is mastering the business mindset. So keeping it positive, getting things rocking, because I see so many people, this part is the biggest. You can't have a successful business unless you feel, that you're worth it. You can't charge your worth. You can't, there's a whole document that I also made about like changing your mindset, leaving old stories behind, and like how to reframe your thoughts. So we're going to be doing that for a whole entire week, whether we're doing Write and Burns, whether we are, introducing ourselves and kind of talking about what are our fears of success, fear of failure. That is going to be a whole week because that mindset is everything in coaching. It's not like you're just going and working for somebody on a daily basis and they're telling you what to do. You have to be the one that compartmentalizes your day, believes in yourself, has the support, has the accountability, and everything to really, get on that health history. Because if you're not confident on that health history, there is no way that you're going to be able to close and convert that person and feel like, oh my God, yeah, that person should definitely hire me because I can definitely help this person. The days that we wake up feel crappy or negative, it only takes a shift in perception. That shift in perception happens when we're around really positive people. It's just, it's just the truth. That's why Tony Robbins does huge events. Week 2, this is where it's nailing down your niche, your why, and your story. We're going to talk about building the ultimate work with me page, your about me page. We did this a little in mastering your message, talked about these different elements. But each of these modules aren't just handouts. One of these books is like 40 pages. One of these books is 20 pages. I can actually show you some of the materials. I mean, it's really unbelievable. The table of contents alone. So this is owning your story, nailing down your niche. We're going to go over the niche exercise. And this really means actually nailing down not just your niche, your sub niches, and what that message means, because I've talked about this over and over. I feel like a broken record, is that you can have, the perfect copy on your site. You could have the perfect website design. But if you are not clear on who you're marketing to, people won't sign up for the webinars. People won't opt into the pages. Your copy on your sales funnels won't be clear. I've seen over and over coaches who are so knowledgeable, so talented, not have success because of this part, which is why I so strategically and carefully designed this program and looked at all the masterminds I've done, all the boot camps, all the healthy hustles, and said, okay, I'm doing this in a very, very different way, so that each week we are going over what we are covering in these ebooks. And there are not handouts, there are actual ebooks, so that it's easy for you to reference with table of contents. Developing your story, putting them to work, and there will be homework. So even if you're busy, which I know tons of you are busy, you can still, it will be an hour a week. Classes are on Sunday night, so that many of you who work, it's still possible. They will be recorded. They will be put onto a membership page, as well as all of your materials are on a membership page as well, so that everything will be there no matter what. And then I will have daily live streams into the group as well, so that there I'm live streaming. I will also let you know, on a certain day, like what time I'll be live streaming, so that you guys can tag in with questions. Somebody's asking, what would be the maximum timing for a client session during a program while you're working with them in a group program? I always love just if you're doing a follow-up leading them to another program, I like a 30-minute because you really want to find out what did they get from that program and what are they still missing, and then leading them either to your work with me, or to that next program. And a lot of people are what I call like program junkies. They really love to go to that next program. So week 3 is all about marketing, blogging. I give you a blog template, designing a sales funnel that really drives people. So we really go over the sales funnel in depth. We really go over opt-in freebies, buffer, all of those things that are, so confusing. Like, why am I using Bitly? How do I actually Facebook post? How do I actually tweet? Why am I not just posting, download my opt-in freebie, which I see all the time. And I think as Facebook has changed so much and we are not, really permitted to post, marketing on our personal page, this is so important. So it's really understanding the power of video, understanding live stream and what to say, really understand how to use, how to build your list, especially if you have no list, and how to get people into challenges and groups, so that you can, get people to your programs. I mean, get people to your work with me, get people to, hire you. And, again, like there are a lot of business schools out there. And the reason that I created this one like this is with health coaches in mind. It's very different to market on Facebook. If just as an entrepreneur compared to what a health coach really needs to say, or what you would say on Periscope, or what you would say on live stream, or how to, pitch to HuffPost or Mind Body Green or Elephant Journal. So yes, you want to do it without going crazy, and you want to know like what apps to have and how to actually do it so you don't feel completely insane. The next part would be launching. So as you see, we've kind of like strategically moved up each week so that we actually get to the launch part. Checklist, we're going to be talking in the launch phase about a 3-2-2 model, a 2-2-2 model, and also a 7-step plan, so that when you're launching, you aren't just making the biggest mistake that I see often, which is to, not do so much of that, create the hype, create the buzz, and then go right into launching the program. Or launch the program, haven't tested the market, and then kind of like miss the message, even though the message may be really important to you, doesn't mean that it's always really important to the client. I've made that mistake, and no one has ever saw it because I was able to kind of catch those mistakes. And these are the things as health coaches that we didn't anticipate was, the building the business and the launching and, the opt-in freebies and the handouts and the different things that people want and the content that we need so that we can really build that trust, with our potential client who wants to hire us. Conquering social media. This is a biggie. Getting started on social media and connecting with your target audience. It's one thing to go and post on social media and just post like whether it's InstaQuote or word swag or just post a picture, but it's another thing to connect with like heart and soul. And when you connect with heart and soul, that is when you're actually having a sales conversation with somebody. Also talking about, batch social media and marketing and scheduling, because we are all so busy. I know I didn't do that last week, and I looked at my Instagram and I was like, damn. And even my, I use Meet Ecker now, but it was not planned because I didn't take the time. So, even the best of us, we all do this. If we don't have a plan and if it's not scheduled, we don't do it. I can't tell you how many coaches I talk to who say, I just need the plan. I need the accountability. That to me is what masterminds do. Really good masterminds give us a day-to-day action plan with accountability. Our job is to show up and do it. And so this is about, filling your social media posting, really scheduling it, really like taking a step back. And I'll just share with you also why I'm so passionate about this. I would say in the last month, I've stepped back from my business and stepped deeper into my business. Took about 25 hours to revamp almost everything. And, from Google spreadsheets, it took me out 6 months to really get clear on marketing plans, like get clear on day by day what I was doing. I have more freedom in my life. I feel more content, more balanced than I have in years. And it was because I really took that time myself to get clear on what I wanted, and that gave me more freedom. And when you're clear on what you want, outsourcing, even to a virtual assistant, like, oh, I need my, my documents done because I have a webinar in 3 weeks, or I need this done because I need this sales page done. All of a sudden, the plan, the overall big plan, becomes clear. And then all of a sudden, the day-to-day becomes doable and doesn't feel like it's choking you and your business. Plus, I'm giving you just, 10 free social images, a list of my must-have like phone apps so that you can rock social media. And almost everyone knows when I'm in a forum, like, you ask and you shall receive, because that's just how I roll. So if you're like, how do I make an ebook? How do I do this, Rach? Like, I'm there for you, because I remember feeling totally broken and scared in the beginning of my business. And that's why I do these masterminds, because I really get it. Somebody's saying, Mari's saying, will I be allowed to ask questions? Do you mean at the end of this, or do you mean during the mastermind? Oh, Elsie, I'm so sorry if my audio was cutting in and out. Let me know if it's better now. I have done detox masterminds for a long time. I stopped doing them, and, just a bunch of people. And I realized through, of course, running the detox groups and everything, and just how important this is in my own life, that I'm not sitting there and teaching you, like, do this with your client, protocols for you. That's on you. And I'm not a doctor or nutritionist, but I will share with you what has been taught, to me. And what I think is so beautiful about detox is there's so many different theories out there. Some believe that it needs to be all alkaline, and some believe that you can have fat, and some believe that you can have protein. And so we're going to talk about the elimination diet. We're going to talk about how you can adjust, any cleanse or detoxification program for a vegan, vegetarian, omnivore, gut rebuilding, because that's something that, I've needed to do, candida, and also learn what systems I've used in my own life, as well as, what I've needed to do for my own health. So that is part of a whole host of handouts that you also get in week 6 for that part of the module, as well as week 7 and 8. Like I said, this is implementation and review. It's kind of what I said earlier. Lots of courses. At the end of the course, we're done. I've even done that before myself, where we were done and we still had the forum open, but we didn't go back and review. And I think the going back and reviewing is vital, especially when it comes to our about me, our work with me, social media, so many different things that have to do with our business, to get it up and running and to the point where it's, profitable and sustainable. And and we feel good in the different areas that we need to feel good in for us to make money doing what we love. So this is the cool thing. For literally, we have 2 months of support. We have weekly live calls. We have the modules. This is $247. After July 10th, it goes up to $287. And then we also have some really cool bonuses. So you get 10 extra custom designed social media images. I love social media images because they're awesome for Facebook. They're awesome for Pinterest. I mean, they're just great. And go on PicMonkey or Canva and add your website or anything you're promoting. Then Facebook business page masterclass with Agnes. She is a client attraction specialist and a Facebook ad strategist. She's going to be doing a 30-minute bonus on how to master your Facebook business page. She's going to go everything from setting it up to how to position yourself as an expert, how to use it to attract your clients to your mailing list, your services. It's going to be awesome. And she's just really an amazing person as well. Plus, she's going to do a live Q&A in our forum as well, in our exclusive private forum. Then you also have 5 tips to writing a great sales page with Hillary Rice, who was my first copywriter, who definitely made me learn that mastering the message is amazing. And also that really owning your voice is so important. Plus, give me 1 second. Let me just see if I can. Let me just see if I can pull this up. And then there's one more bonus where there is an opt-in freebie that you get. And so I don't have it right here. But with that being said, that is about it. That is all. So it's going to be, so there's one more opt-in freebie. It's called Mini Reboot. Opt-in freebie with 2D and 3D. It's really cool and it's so beautiful. Called Mini Reboot. With images. And that you can brand and use on your own. And I'm going to show you how to rock out your opt-in freebie so you can build your list. So even if you don't even have one, you would be able to easily go and get that up and running right away. Erin is saying, will the live Q&A be around this time? It's so funny, Erin. Agnes is in Australia. So the live Q&A with her will be at a time that has to be Australia friendly. Otherwise, it won't work so well. And I try to make the live Q&As at all. I try to also make the live streams at all different times because there's always different coaches in different parts of the world. So sometimes I'll do one in the evening. Sometimes I'll do one early morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I know for Australia, really early in the morning is good. So I try to really appeal to all of you guys. If somebody has a request, I will 100% do a live stream. I get up at 5 in the morning. So, and I work with people all over the world who actually work with me on my team. So getting up and doing a live stream in the morning, it's really not a problem, especially when I'm teaching you guys something. Like if I happen to be scheduling something on Facebook, I will typically then just do a live stream and show you, or even just record it on a Google Hangout and just pop it into the forum just as a video. So it's very easy for me to do that. And it's also, I'm such a visual person that I like those kind of visual things, other than just like a post, especially if a bunch of you have a lot of questions. It's easier for me sometimes to answer that in a live stream, or answer it like in one document. So yeah, I try to make it as easy as possible. Dawn's asking, how often do I offer the mastermind? So because this is 2 months, the mastermind probably won't be coming back until October, because we'll launch the Done For You programs in August, and then I will take a little of a break. So it probably won't be until October. Yes, Elsie, I am going to send out the webinar. I'm going to send out the recording. It will be available for 72 hours. If you do have any questions really about if this is right for you, you can reach me, and I'll just put this here. And in the replay also, there will be a link if you want to buy or if you have any questions. And I think that's about it, guys. Thank you so much. I mean, I would be psyched for all of you to be a part of the mastermind. I know it is going to be really life-changing. The bonuses are awesome, and this course is just set up in a way that is mind-blowing, really, really mind-blowing. So yes, I will go and get this uploaded, get this off to you guys, and we'll go from there. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys all soon. Have an awesome night. Again, this is Rachel Feldman, and I look forward to seeing you in the mastermind. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.